Namaste students. Hope you all fine. Myself Saranya. I am your social teacher. Today we are going to see the second lesson in geography, that is globe, latitudes and longitudes. So in this lesson we are going to see about first globe. So in the previous chapter you have read that our planet Earth is not a sphere. It is slightly flattered at the north and the south poles, a bulge in the middle. Can you imagine how it looks? You may look at a globe carefully to get an idea. Globe is a true model of the earth. So children, see this globe image. See how it will be. The top most which is attached with the stand is the north pole, and the bottom which is attached with the stand is south pole. So it is flattened like that, and middle part is little bulge. So it is the miniature form of the earth. Globes may be varying size and the type. So the globe may be vary in size and the type, but the countries and continents it is remained same. So it is calculatedly shown in the correct size. The globe will be in big size, or it will be in the pocket. Small pocket globes will be also available. So the two parts were attached with the stand, so we can rotate the globe. We can spin it. So how the earth rotates. So like that we can spin it in the globe also. It is difficult to describe the location of a point on a sphere like the earth. Now the question arises as to how to locate a place on it. So how we can locate a place in the globe? We need certain points of reference and the lines to make out the location of place. So for that we need some lines. For that, see in this picture, children, there is some red color line is there, no, in between the globe. So that is called axe. So why it is called axe? So it is a tilde manner in the globe. So we can easily point out the location with the help of these. So at the top of the axe is north pole, and the bottom of the axis south pole, and the side one is east right side and left at the west side. The globe can be moved around this needle from west to east. So west to east it will be rotate. But remember, there is a major difference. The real Earth has no such needle. It moves around its axis, which is an imaginary line. So, children, only for our reference, in this globe, axe line was shown. But really, in the Earth, the axe was in the imaginary form. It will not be shown. So, it will be there, but we can't see. It's like an imaginary thing. Another imaginary line running on the globe divides it into two equal parts. So, see this globe, children. The globe is divided into two equal parts. This line is known as equator. The northern half of the earth is known as northern hemisphere, and the southern half is known as southern hemisphere. So, children, the globe is divided into equal halves. That that line is called equator. The northern part is a northern hemisphere, and southern part is a southern hemisphere. They are both equal halves. Therefore, the equator is an imaginary circular line, and is a very important reference point to locate a place on the earth. So, like axis, the equator point also a imaginary one, but it helps us to locate the places. All parallel circles from the equator up to the poles are called. So see here, childrens, which the equator have 0 degree. From 0 degree up to the north pole, the name of that thing was parallel of latitudes. The latitudes are measured in degrees. So you can see the degrees like 0 degree, 30, 60, and 90 degree. Below the 0 degree, it will be minused. So these are called parallels of latitude. The equator responds the 0 degree latitude. Since the distance from the equator to either of the poles is one fourth of the circle around the earth, it will be measures one fourth of 360 degrees, that is 90 degree. Thus 90 degrees north latitude marks the north pole and the 90 degrees south latitude marks the south pole. So see here, childrens, in the 0 degree towards the north pole is called north latitude and the 0 degree towards the south pole is called south latitude. So these are the two latitudes. What are they? One is north latitude and another one is south latitude. As such, all parallels north of the equator are called north latitude. Similarly, all parallels south of the equator are called south latitudes. The value of each latitude is therefore followed by either the word north or south. Generally, this is indicated by the letter N or S. So, in this picture, you can see that degrees which is marked in the round shape. So, the N symbols indicates that is nearer to the north side and the S one indicates the south side. For example, both Chanda, Chandrapur in Maharashtra, India, and Belu Horizontal in Brazil, South America, are located on parallels of about 20-degree latitude. But the former is 20 degree north of the equator and the later is 20 degree south of it. We therefore say that Chandrapur is situated at 20 degree north latitude and Belo Horizonte is situated at 20 degree S latitude. So we see in the figure here that as we move away from the equator, the size of the parallels of latitude decreases. So see here, children, from the equator, as we move one by one, the size of the parallels are decreasing through North Pole. Even in the South Pole also it is decreasing. Important parallels of latitudes. Beside the equator, the North Pole 90 degree N and the South Pole 90 degree S, there are four important parallels of latitudes. So children, there are four parallels in the latitudes. So see here, this is the picture of the earth. The center line is the equator. The top one is the North Pole and the bottom one is the South Pole. So first parallel latitude is Tropic of Cancer. So which is in 23.5 degree north in the northern hemisphere. So it is in the northern hemisphere, that is called Tropic of Cancer. The second one is Tropic of Capricorn. which is located in 23rd and a half degree south, which is in southern hemisphere. That is called Tropic of Capricorn. And the third one is Arctic Circle at 66 and a half north of the equator, and the Antarctic Circle at 66 and a half of south of the equator. So these are all the four important parallels of latitudes. What are they, children's? Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle. So keep this in mind, children's. It is a very important question. Heat zones of the earth. So normally the heat zones will differ in different places, right? The midday sun is exactly overhead at least once a year on all latitudes in between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. This area therefore receives the maximum heat and is called the Torrid Zone. So, children, they have marked in a red or orange place. Why? Because means mostly in that area, the direct sun rays will fall because the it is nearer to the sun. So, not nearer, the rays are exactly fallen in that area, so that area have the maximum heat, so we call that area as torrid zone. The midday sun never shines overhead on any latitude beyond the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. The angle of the sun rays goes on decreasing towards the poles. As such, the areas bounded by the Tropic of Cancer and the Arctic Circle in the northern hemisphere, and the Tropic of Capricorn and the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere have moderate temperature. These are therefore called temperate zones. So, children, from the equator to the Arctic Circle, in between, in between the area have only moderate temperature. So it will not be too much of heat or it will not be too much of cold. It is in medium level. So like that in southern hemisphere also, like Tropic of Capricorn and Antarctic Circle. So this region we call it as temperate zone. Areas lying between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and the Antarctic Circle and the South Pole in the southern hemisphere are very cold. See, that's why they have given in the violet color form. These two places were very cold, that is, frigid zone. So it is because here the sun does not rise much above the horizon. Therefore, its rays are always slanting and provide less heat. These are therefore called frigid zone. That is very cold. So in these areas, the sun rays will be very low. Even though the sun rays are coming, it will not contain any heat. Only the light will be there. So these two places where very cold will be there. So what are the zones, children? There is three zones. One is torrid, temperate, and frigid zones. These are the heat zones of the earth. So children, hope you understood the half of the lessons. We'll continue the lesson in the next video. Thank you, children. Namaste, students. So we'll continue the lesson globes, latitudes and longitudes. So in the last video we saw about the latitudes. So in this video we are going to see what is longitudes. To fix the position of a place, it is necessary to know something more than the latitude of the place. You can see, for example, that Tonga Island in the Pacific Ocean and Mauritius Island in the Indian Ocean are situated on the same latitude, which is in 20 degree of south south pole. Now, in order to locate them preciously, we must find out how far east or west of these places are from a given line of reference running from the north pole to the south pole. These lines of reference are called meridians of longitude. So, children, from the latitudes we can find out and we can locate the places which were between the north pole to the south pole using the equator lines and the degree lines. But how we can find the um, places which are in the same degree line of south? The both the degrees will be in same positions. How we can find out and locate the place? So for that, they have divided the globe into west and east part. They have given the same degree lines, which the west will be having a W symbol and the east will be having the E symbol. They have mentioned 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, and 120, 150, and the last 180 degree. So, like this, they have divided the globe to locate the places. So, these are called meridians of longitudes, and the distance between them are measured in degrees of longitudes. Each degree is further divided into minutes and minutes into seconds. They are semicircle and the distance between them decreases steadily pole towards until it becomes zero at the poles where all the meridians meet. So, children, where all the meridians meet at one place, that place we have mentioned that as 0 degree. So, like that, they have divided the globe into the meridian longitudes. Unlike parallels of latitudes, all meridians are of equal length. Thus, it was difficult to number the meridians. Hence, all countries decided that the count should begin from the meridian which passed through Greenwich, where the British Royal Observatory is located. This meridian is called the prime meridian. See in this picture, children, they have marked in the dotted lines. So that line is called prime meridian. Its value is 0 degree longitude. So from there only we have to locate the places. So from it we count 180 degree is eastward as well as the 180 degree westward. The prime meridian 180 degree meridian divide the earth into two equal halves, the eastern hemisphere and the western hemisphere. So children, how we have divided as northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, like that in the longitudes they have divided into western hemisphere and eastern hemisphere. Therefore, the longitudes of a place is followed by the letter E and the W for west. It's however interesting to note that 180 degree east and 180 180 degree east and 180 degree west meridian are on the same line. So we can see that 180 degree which both the sides will meet together. That is 180 degree is common for both east and the west. Now look at the grid of the parallels of latitudes and the meridians of longitudes on the globe. So see here childrens, in this they have mentioned the both longitudes as well as the latitudes. Don't get confused. N stands for north, S stands for south, W stands for west, and E stands for east. So then look at the picture. You will know what is that. For example, Dubari in Assam is situated at 26 degree north latitude and 90 degree east longitude. Find out the point where these two lines cut each other. That point will be location of Dubari. So how we can do this means for a clear vision we can draw an horizontal and vertical lines in a paper. So like this we can draw it. If they said one point from B to 1 means we can mark the jointing line which we have marked. So like that we can mark and we can place the place where they told. So like this you can point out the places children. Let vertical lines represent the east longitudes and the horizontal lines as north longitudes latitudes. Now you will see that circle A is located on B degree N and 1 degree E longitude. Find out the location of other circles. So children's like this, what is the B, how it locates? Like this you have to mark. This is your homework children. What is B, what is C, D and E? You have to calculate and write your answer. Okay children's. So see the picture of Greenwich which they have mentioned. So like this they have divided. This is the Greenwich map, longitudes and time. The Greenwich map is used for calculating times. The best means of measuring a time is by the movement of the earth. The moon and the planets, the sun regularly rise and sets every day. And naturally, it is the best timekeeper throughout the world. So, childrens, now we are having a watch or a clock to measure the time. So, in the earlier days, how they will find what's the time is? They will use the sun to find out the time. So, see in this picture, children, they will place this in one place. So, if the sun moves from one place to another, so not the sun, the earth moves around the sun means the sun, the earth will rotate. The earth will rotate means if the sun falls on this clock, the shadow of the needle, this one will show the time. What is the time now? So like this only the earlier peoples find out the time. Local time can be recognized by the shadow cast by the sun, which I said, which is the shortest at noon and longest at sunrise and sunset. When the prime meridian of Greenwich has the sun at the highest point in the sky, all the places along this meridian will have midday or noon. So if sun is on the top of the head, directly top of the head means it will be noon in all the places. So they can find out the time is 12. As the earth rotates from west to east, those places of east of Greenwich will be ahead of Greenwich time and those of to the west will be behind it. So the earth is rotating like this means only one side of the earth the sun rays will fall. The other side will be dark. So like this it will change when the earth rotates. The rate of difference can be calculated as follows. The earth rotates 360 degree in about 24 hours, which means 15 degree an hour or 1 degree in 4 minutes. So like that we can divide that. Thus, when it is 12 noon at Greenwich, the time at 15 degree east of Greenwich will be 15 into 4 equal to 60 minutes. That is 1 hour ahead of Greenwich time, which means 1 p.m. So, like that, we can calculate the time using the sun and the Greenwich map. But at 15 degree west of Greenwich means the time will be behind the Greenwich time by 1 hour. So that it will be 11 a.m. Similarly, at 180 degree, it will be midnight when it is 12 noon at Greenwich. So, students understood that if the time is in 15 degree east means 1 hour after 12, so that is 1 p.m. If the Greenwich time is 15 degree west, sorry children, first I have said that it is a 15 degree east in Greenwich means the 1 hour after 12 o'clock, so that is 1 p.m. And then 15 degree west means it will be before 1 hour to 12 p.m. So that is 11 a.m. At any place, a watch can be adjusted to read 12 o'clock when the sun is at the highest point in the sky, which we can see overhead. The sun will be straight to us or the top of the sky. That is when it is a midday. The time shown by such a watch will give the local time for the place. You can see that all the places on a given meridian of longitudes have the same local time. So most of the all longitudes it will be the same time most of the time places. Why do we have a standard time? The local time of places which are on different meridians. So it will be differ. For example, it will difficult to prepare the timetable for trains which cross several longitudes. In India, our instance, there will be a difference of about 1 hour 45 minutes in the local time of Dharwakar in Gujarat and Dib- Dibrugarh in Assam. It is therefore necessary to adopt the local time of some central meridian of country as the standard time of for the country. In India, the longitudes of 82.5 degree east is treated as the standard meridian. The local time at this meridian is taken as the standard time for the whole country. It is known as the Indian Standard Time. So, children, so we are having a local time. Why we want to have a standard time? Because the train is moving from place to place. So, according to the local time, we cannot calculate or we cannot prepare the timetable for train. For that purpose, they have introduced that Indian Standard Time, which we can be fixed for certain areas. So not certain areas, in between the India there will be a same timing. So there is no time difference in between in into the India. So all over India there will be a one time, that is Indian Standard Time. So all the times will be same. So easily we can prepare the timetables for train chart. So see here childrens, this is 82 and a half east. This is the standard meridian. So which we have used for the Indian Standard Time IST. Kabir lives in a small town near Bhopal. He tells his friend Alok that they will not able to sleep tonight. A day and night cricket match between India and England had started at 2 p.m. in London. This means that the match would begin at 7:30 p.m. in India and finish well into the night. Do you know what is the time difference between India and England? So children, so all over the India there is a same timing. But India to England there is a time difference, right? If in the London the time is 2 p.m. means in the India it will be 7:30 p.m. So why there is a time difference means India located east of Greenwich at 82 and a half degree is 5 hours and 30 minutes ahead of GMT. So it will be 7:30 p.m. in India when it is 2 p.m. noon in London. Some countries have a great longitudinal extent and so they have adopted more than a one standard time. For example, in Russia, there are as many as 11 standard times. The earth has been divided into 24 time zones of 1 hour each. Each zone thus covers 15 degrees of latitudes. So already we have seen that 15-degree longitudes it has divided. So 15, 15, 15, they have divided the longitudes. That's why the Russia is the big continent. It will divide it into 11 standard times. So it will have all the 11 standard times, which is included in one area that is called Russia. So, children, hope you all understood the lesson. If you're not understanding it, please go through your textbook. By reading itself, you can easily understood, but read it carefully. It will be difficult for reading, but once or twice, if you're reading continuously, you will be able to understand this lesson. Okay, childrens, that's all the lesson got over. Read the lessons and copy your answers. Thank you, childrens.